Hello, and welcome back to Speak English with Leo. Today's video is not just about learning English, it's about consistency. And no, this is not some boring lesson with rules and routines. This is about you, your dreams, your pain, your habits, and why you keep starting and stopping over and over again. Before we begin, I need to tell you something very important. So listen carefully. Don't skip. Stay with me. You don't struggle with motivation. You don't lack intelligence. You are not lazy. You struggle with being consistent. And that's why you're stuck. You start the gym and stop after a week. You begin studying English and forget about it after 3 days. You wake up one morning full of energy, ready to change your life. But by the next morning, you're scrolling your phone in bed, feeling guilty, tired, and stuck all over again. And I want to ask you something very honest. Aren't you tired of starting over? Because deep inside, I think you are. Part 1. The pain of starting again and again. Let me tell you a story. There's a young man named Amir. He's 27 years old. He lives in a small town, works long hours, and dreams of a better future. His biggest goal? To speak English fluently, so he can go abroad, work in the U.S., and find a high-salary job to support his family. Every Monday, he writes a new plan. This week, I'll wake up early. I'll practice speaking for 30 minutes every day. I'll apply for jobs online. I'll watch one English interview every night. And Monday starts great. Tuesday, still okay. But by Wednesday, something happens. He wakes up late. He skips his practice. Thursday, he says, I'll do double tomorrow. Friday, nothing. Saturday, guilt. Sunday, shame. And then comes Monday again. A new plan. The same pattern. Amir doesn't need a new strategy. He needs consistency. Sound familiar? Maybe you are Amir. Let me ask you something. How many times have you promised yourself a new beginning? How many times have you broken that promise? How many times have you felt inspired, only to lose that energy within days? Be honest with yourself. You don't need to type it. You don't need to tell anyone. But just for a second, close your eyes and answer this in your heart. How long will you keep restarting the same journey? Because every time you start and stop, you're training your brain to believe, I don't follow through, I give up. That belief is killing your future. Listen to me. Consistency is not about being perfect. It's not about doing big things. It's not about having motivation every day. It's about doing small things every day, even when you feel tired, unmotivated, or sad. That's it. Consistency doesn't need energy. It needs discipline. Consistency doesn't need excitement. It needs commitment. You don't need a new plan. You need to show up again and again and again, even when no one claps. Here's something I want you to remember forever. Success is not built in a day. It's built daily. So let's build it together. Not perfectly, not fast, but consistently. Here's your first consistency task. Right now, yes, right now. Comment one thing you will do for the next 7 days. Just one small thing. For example, I will study English for 10 minutes. I will write one paragraph in English daily. I will stretch for 5 minutes. I will drink 2 glasses of water every morning. Write it in the comments. And if you don't want to comment, write it in your notebook. Because this is not just a video. This is your turning point. In the next part of this video, I'm going to show you the real reason why your brain fights consistency and how to trick your mind into loving repetition. You don't want to miss it. So stay with me. We're just getting started. And remember, this is not just about English. This is about building a life you're proud of. See you in the next part, and bring your notebook. We're going deeper. Part 2. Your brain hates repetition, but you can win. Welcome back. If you're still here, that means one thing. You're serious. You're not like most people who click away after 30 seconds. You want to grow. You want to change. You want to be consistent. So I'm going to tell you something that can change your entire life, but only if you understand it deeply. Ready? Let's go. Your brain hates boredom. Your brain doesn't want to be consistent. It wants pleasure. It wants new, exciting things. It wants to feel good, not do good. Let's be honest. Starting something feels amazing, right? New gym membership? Motivation is high. Day 1 of a new English course? Feels exciting. You write a to-do list, buy a journal, clean your desk. Everything feels fresh and possible, but then the excitement fades. Day 3, you feel tired. Day 5, you forget. Day 7, you give up. Why? Because your brain is addicted to novelty. It loves new beginnings but hates repetition. Consistency feels boring. Your brain screams, "Let's do something else." But here's the trick. Repetition equals mastery. What feels boring is what makes you better. Let me say that again. What feels boring is what makes you better. Every fluent English speaker you admire, they said the same words again and again. Every fit body you see at the gym, reps, reps, reps. Every successful person you look up to, same actions, daily discipline. Winners repeat. Losers restart. If you only do things when you're excited, you'll never become great. But if you do things when you're bored, when it's hard, that's when you win. Let me tell you a short story. There was a famous violinist who performed all over the world. One night after his concert, a woman came up to him and said, "I would give anything to play like you." He smiled and replied, "Would you give 8 hours a day, every day for 20 years? She went silent. You see, everyone wants the result, but no one wants the repetition. But the secret is, repetition is the result. So ask yourself right now, are you doing what works, or are you just doing what feels good? Are you consistent, or are you just always restarting? Be honest with yourself, because self-honesty is the first step to self-mastery. How to win. Rewire the brain with identity. Now here's how to win. Stop saying, "I want to be consistent." Start saying, "I am consistent." Your brain listens to your words. If you keep saying, "I'm lazy," "I always give up," "I can't focus," your brain will say, "Okay, got it." But if you start saying, "I'm someone who finishes things," "I'm building discipline," "I show up even when I don't feel like it," your brain begins to believe you. Identity is more powerful than motivation. Don't just try to act consistent. Become someone who is consistent. Here's your task today. Right now, say this out loud. I am the kind of person who follows through. Say it with me. Again. I am the kind of person who follows through. Now write it down, in your notebook, on your wall, in your phone notes. Say it every morning. Because your new life begins with your new identity. In the next part of this video, I'll share with you a powerful strategy used by athletes, artists, and top performers. It's called anchor habits. And when you use it, staying consistent becomes almost automatic. No more forgetting, no more forcing, just real daily progress with less effort. So don't stop now. You're already in motion. Consistency starts by not quitting halfway. See you in the next part. We're just getting started. Part 3. Anchor habits that make success automatic. So far, you've faced the truth. You've understood your brain's resistance. You've started rewriting your identity. Now it's time for something powerful, something that makes consistency easier, not harder. Let me introduce you to a life-changing concept. Anchor habits. What are anchor habits? Anchor habits are small actions that lock your day into place, like anchors hold a ship. They're simple, repeatable, and they trigger other good habits without you even realizing it. Let me explain. Have you ever noticed this? You make your bed. You feel more organized. You go for a 10-minute walk. You suddenly want to eat healthier. You drink 2 glasses of water in the morning. Your brain feels more awake. That's no accident. One small good action creates momentum, and that's what anchor habits do. They pull you forward when motivation is missing. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria is a student who wanted to improve her English fluency. Every week she told herself she'd practice speaking more, read more, write more, but she never stuck to it. Then she tried something simple. Every morning, just after brushing her teeth, she opened her journal and wrote one paragraph in English. Not a perfect paragraph, not a long one, just one. That small habit became her anchor. After a week, she started reading more. After 2 weeks, she began recording herself speaking. After a month, she was messaging people in English. And you know what? It all started with one paragraph, one small anchor. So now I want to ask you, what's one small action you could take every morning that might create momentum for your day? Not a huge goal, not study for 3 hours, just one anchor. Maybe it's 10 minutes of English shadowing after breakfast, writing one new word on a sticky note, speaking one sentence aloud while getting dressed, reading one motivational quote before checking your phone. Think about it. Say it out loud. Better yet, write it down, because a small habit done daily is more powerful than a big habit done once a week. Most people fail not because they're weak, but because they expect too much too soon. They want to build a castle in one day, but consistency is not about building a castle. It's about laying one brick every day, no matter how you feel. One brick doesn't look like much, but after 30 days, you have a wall. After 100 days, a house. After a year, a castle. But only if you don't stop. Here's your task. Choose one anchor habit today. Write it on paper. Put it somewhere visible. Your mirror, your desk, your fridge, and say this. This is my anchor. I don't need motivation. I just do it. Then, do it. Tomorrow. And the next day. And the next. That's how consistency is born. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep showing up. Consistency doesn't mean doing everything. It means doing something every day until your mind and body start saying, this is who I am now. In the next part, we'll talk about something most people ignore, the emotional side of inconsistency. Because sometimes you don't fail because you're lazy. You fail because you're hurt. And when you heal what's inside, your outside habits finally begin to grow. So don't go anywhere. Your breakthrough is coming. Part 4. You're not failing, you're carrying pain. Welcome back. In the last part, we talked about anchor habits, how small daily actions can build a strong life. But now we're going deeper. Because sometimes, even when you try, even when you plan, even when you start, you still can't stay consistent. Why? Because your brain isn't the only thing stopping you. Your heart is hurting too. Let's be real. Many people fail to be consistent, not because they're weak or lazy, but because they're carrying emotional weight, old pain, disappointment, shame, guilt, fear of failure, fear of success, and that pain shows up in your habits. It makes you tired when nothing is wrong. It makes you distracted even when you're trying to focus. It makes you quit, not because you don't care, but because you're afraid to care again. Let me tell you a story. There's a girl named Nora. She's 24. She moved to a new country to study. First semester, she worked hard. She studied English every day. She had dreams of becoming a translator, but one day, she failed an important exam. Not because she didn't try, but because she didn't understand the teacher's accent. She felt ashamed, stupid, alone. She didn't tell anyone. She smiled in public, laughed with friends, but inside, she stopped trying. She told herself, "What's the point? I'll just fail again." She wasn't inconsistent because she was lazy. She was inconsistent because she was hurt. Maybe that's you too. So let me ask you something. What pain are you still carrying? A failure you haven't forgiven yourself for? A voice in your head that says you're not good enough? A person who made you feel small and you still believe them? Close your eyes for 5 seconds. Be honest. What are you carrying that's too heavy to walk with? Healing is part of consistency. If you want to be consistent, you have to lighten the load. You can't run toward your goals when your heart is dragging behind you. So how do you start healing? Not by pretending everything is okay, but by saying this: yes, I was hurt. Yes, I failed. Yes, it still affects me, but I'm not letting it define me anymore. Write it down. Say it out loud. Speak it like a truth, because healing isn't forgetting. Healing is choosing to keep going, even with the scar. Here's your task today, and please don't skip it. Take out a notebook, write 1 page. Title it, Why I Keep Stopping. Be honest, be raw, be real. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's shame, maybe it's the memory of someone who laughed at your dream. Write it out. Because the more truth you write, the less power it has over you. Consistency begins when you stop running from yourself. You are not broken. You are healing, and healing people are not lazy. They are learning how to stand again. In the next part of this video, I'll show you how to build a safe environment for consistency, because even the strongest seed can't grow in toxic soil. Don't quit now. You've come too far to go back, and I'm right here with you. See you in Part 5. Part 5. Your environment is controlling you. You've done something powerful already. You've looked inside. Now let's look around, because if you're trying to be consistent in a space full of chaos, distractions, and the wrong people, you're setting yourself up to fail. Let me be clear, even the best seed can't grow in bad soil. So today, we fix the soil. Look around your space right now. Is it supporting your goals, or is it slowly draining your energy? Let's be honest. Are your clothes on the floor? Is your desk a mess? Are you trying to study English while your TV is on? Is your phone buzzing every 30 seconds with memes, messages, and meaningless noise? Now, go deeper. Are the people around you laughing at your growth? Do your friends support your goals or mock them? Do they lift you or keep you small? Your environment is speaking to your mind, even when you're not listening. There's a boy named Harun. He wants to build his future. Every night he says, "Tomorrow I'll wake up early. I'll study. I'll build my English. I'll change my life." But every morning, his phone is under his pillow. First thing he sees is TikTok. His room is dark. His desk is full of junk, and the people in his house, always loud, always negative. You're wasting your time. No one in this family ever made it. Just be realistic. So he stays in bed. He's not lazy. He's trapped. What about you? Are you choosing your environment? Or are you just surviving in it? Because here's the truth. You can't grow in a place that's killing your energy. And you don't need to wait for the perfect house, the perfect desk, the perfect situation. You just need to start creating small pockets of power. Build your growth corner. Let me give you something practical. It's called a growth corner, a physical space, even one small table that tells your brain, this is where I grow. This is where I level up. It can be a clean desk with a notebook and a pen, a wall with sticky notes of English words, a journal where you write your thoughts in English, a candle, a quote, a light, something that feels like hope. This is your safe space, your power zone, your consistency base. Even if your whole world is messy, let this space be sacred. Protect your energy. And now, something harder. You are allowed to protect your energy. You are allowed to say no to toxic people. Mute group chats that drain you. Spend less time with friends who mock your dreams. Outgrow people who don't want to grow. You don't have to hate them, but you also don't have to stay small for them. Your consistency is your responsibility, and it's okay to choose peace over popularity. Your task today: fix one part of your environment, just one. Clean your desk, Move your phone across the room. Put a quote above your bed. Write, "I am consistent," on your mirror. Don't wait for the perfect space. Make the space you have perfect for your growth. You don't need to move houses. You don't need to wait for silence. You just need to start carving out space for the person you want to become. In the next part, we'll talk about a dangerous enemy of consistency: comparison. You scroll. You see others doing better. You feel behind. So you stop. But I'll show you why comparison is a lie and how to stay consistent without competing with anyone but your past self. You're doing amazing. Don't stop now. See you in Part 6. Part 6. Stop comparing. Start becoming. Let me guess. You open Instagram or TikTok for 5 minutes, and suddenly it feels like everyone else is winning. Someone is speaking perfect English. Someone is traveling the world. Someone just passed their IELTS with a band 9. Someone's life looks like a movie. And you? You're sitting there, trying to stay consistent, trying to believe in yourself. But now you feel small, slow, and behind. Let me tell you something that might change everything. You're not behind. You're just distracted. Comparison kills consistency. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy. It steals your focus. And worst of all, it steals your consistency. Why? Because when you see someone doing better than you, your brain panics. It says, "Why bother? I'll never catch up." They're younger, smarter, luckier. And so you stop. Not because you don't care, but because you think it's too late. But let me be real with you. Their chapter 20 is not your chapter 1. Imagine a runner in a race. She starts strong, focused, steady, confident. But then she looks to her left and sees someone ahead. She panics. She speeds up too fast, burns out, stumbles, stops. She forgot one thing. The race is with herself. That's how comparison works. You lose sight of your lane, and suddenly you're not running your race anymore. So let me ask you something. Who are you comparing yourself to? That fluent English speaker on YouTube? That influencer with a six-pack? That friend who always seems one step ahead? And now ask yourself, is that helping you grow, or is it making you stop? Because here's the truth. You can admire someone without comparing yourself to them. You can be inspired without feeling inferior. You are allowed to grow at your own pace. Measure backward, not sideways. Here's what I want you to do. Stop looking sideways. Start looking backward, not to regret, but to measure growth. Ask, where was I 1 month ago? What can I do today that I couldn't do last year? How much stronger is my mindset now? Because that is the only person you should be competing with. The old version of you. Here's your task today. Take 5 minutes. Write this sentence and finish it. 6 months ago, I was. Then write, today I am. Even if the growth is small, it matters. Maybe you can understand more English. Maybe you've built a habit. Maybe you've survived something hard. That's not nothing. That's evidence. Evidence that you are becoming someone greater. One day at a time. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not supposed to be like them. You are supposed to become the strongest version of yourself. In the next part of this video, we're going to break another myth. The myth of motivation. Because you don't need to feel motivated to be consistent. You just need to learn how to act without feelings. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. We're almost there. Consistency is no longer just a dream. It's becoming your identity. See you in Part 7. Part 7. Stop chasing motivation. Start choosing discipline. Let me tell you something you've probably never heard on a motivation channel. Motivation is a liar. That's right. Motivation promises you everything. I'll wake up early. I'll work out every day. I'll study English for 2 hours straight. But guess what? Motivation disappears the moment you feel tired, stressed, sad, or just bored. And then you break your promise. Motivation is not reliable. Motivation is like a guest at a party. Sometimes it shows up. Most days it doesn't. And if you build your habits around motivation, you'll only take action when you feel good. But that's not how greatness is built. The most successful people in the world don't rely on motivation. They rely on something stronger: discipline. There's a man named Luis. He's a painter. Every day he paints for 2 hours. Not because he's motivated, not because he's inspired, but because it's who he is. Some days he creates masterpieces. Other days he just stares at the canvas. But he shows up. And that's why he's great. Let me ask you something real. How many times have you said, "I'll do it when I feel ready. I just need to get motivated again"? Today I'm not in the mood, and how much has that cost you? Missed opportunities, broken promises to yourself, another year gone without progress? Now ask yourself this: what if I stopped waiting and just acted? From emotion to decision. Discipline means you act, even when you don't feel like it. You study English, even when your brain says, "Not today." You go for a walk even when you're tired. You open your book even when your phone is calling. Your name. It's not easy, but here's the truth. You don't need to feel motivated to take action. You need to take action to feel motivated. The 2-minute rule. Here's your tool for the days when you feel like doing nothing. The 2-minute rule. Tell your brain, "I'll just do it for 2 minutes. Study English for 2 minutes. Walk for 2 minutes. Write for 2 minutes. Record your voice for 2 minutes. Why? Because once you start, you usually keep going. But even if you don't, 2 minutes is still better than nothing. Consistency is built on tiny victories. When motivation disappears, ask this: what do I want more, comfort or progress? You why? Can choose the sofa or the future. You can choose the feeling right now or the freedom later, because one small disciplined action today becomes confidence tomorrow. You don't need to be in the mood. You need to be in motion, and that starts with one small disciplined choice. Today. In the next part, I'll share something powerful. How to track your progress in a way that keeps you consistent, without guilt, without shame, and without giving up. It's called the chain method, and once you use it, consistency becomes addictive. See you in Part 8. Let's keep building the strongest version of you. Part 8. Build the chain. Don't break it. Welcome back. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever done something right for a few days, and then missed one day, and suddenly it felt like everything was ruined? So you gave up? That's the problem for so many people. They don't know how to measure progress the right way. Today, I'll show you a simple technique used by comedians, creators, entrepreneurs, even Jerry Seinfeld himself. It's called "Don't Break the Chain," and it might be the simplest and smartest way to stay consistent. What is the chain method? Here's how it works. Step 1. Choose your small daily habit. Step 2. Do it every day. Step 3. Every time you do it, put an X on your calendar. That's it. After a few days, those X's become a chain, a row, a streak. And now, your brain doesn't want to break the chain, not because the habit is easy, but because it feels good to see your progress. Jerry Seinfeld's calendar. This method became famous because of a young comedian who asked Jerry Seinfeld for advice. He said, "How do I become great?" Jerry said, "Write jokes every day. After you write, mark a big red X on a calendar. Do it again the next day, then the next. Keep the chain going. Your only job is simple. Don't break the chain." And that's how he became one of the most successful comedians ever. Not because he wrote perfect jokes, but because he wrote daily. Now think about your habit. It doesn't have to be big. It could be 10 minutes of English listening, 1 paragraph of writing, 1 minute of speaking to yourself in the mirror, reviewing 5 vocabulary words. Now imagine doing that every day for 30 days and seeing a wall of red XX. Would you want to stop? No, because the streak itself becomes motivation. Most people fail because they can't see their progress. They forget how far they've come. They feel like it's not working. But this method shows you, in black and white, that you're doing it. You are consistent. You are showing up. You are becoming who you said you would be. It's visual. It's emotional. It's powerful. Today's task is easy. Get a calendar. Print one, buy one, or just draw one. Pick one habit. Every time you complete it, mark a big, bold X. Don't try to do 10 things. Just one, then tomorrow, another X, and another. Your only job? Don't break the chain. And what if you do miss a day? It's okay. You don't rip up the calendar. You don't quit the goal. You just say, I broke the chain, but I'm building a new one. Because consistency isn't about never missing. It's about never quitting. In the next part of this video, we're going even deeper. We're going to talk about something most people ignore. Forgiving yourself. Because you can't stay consistent if you hate the person in the mirror. I'll show you how to let go of guilt, stop punishing yourself, and finally become your own teammate. You don't want to miss it. We're almost at the finish line, and I'm so proud of how far you've come. See you in Part 9. Part 9. Forgive yourself and keep going. Welcome back to Speak English with Leo. I want to ask you something that might hit deep. Have you ever felt disappointed in yourself? For quitting something again? For not being who you said you'd be? For failing the same habit over and over again? If you have, I need you to listen very carefully right now. Because before we go any further, you need to hear this. You cannot stay consistent if you keep punishing yourself for the past. Read that again. Let it sink in. Self-hate kills consistency. So many people fail not because of lack of time or energy, but because deep inside they don't believe they deserve success. Every time they try to change, a voice whispers, "You always give up. You've failed before. You'll fail again. You're not disciplined. You're not strong." And slowly you begin to believe that voice, so when you miss one day, you don't just move on. You attack yourself. You say, "I'm such an idiot. I'm hopeless. Why do I even try?" And in that moment, it's not just about a broken habit, it's a broken relationship with yourself. There was a boy named Elvin. He wanted to get better at English. Every few weeks he would start strong, watching videos, reading books, recording himself. But every time he missed a day, he would say, "I'm so stupid. I knew I'd mess this up." And slowly his own voice, his inner voice, became his biggest enemy. Until one day, he stopped trying. Not because he couldn't succeed, but because he was too busy punishing himself to move forward. Be honest. Have you been too hard on yourself? Have you judged yourself more than you would judge your best friend? Have you told yourself things you would never say to someone else? Would you call your friend a loser for missing one workout? Would you shame your little brother for skipping one English lesson? No? Then why do you do it to you? Become your teammate. From today forward, I want you to make a promise. I will stop being my enemy. I will become my teammate. Because consistency grows in love, not in shame. When you miss a day, forgive. When you fall, pause, then rise. When you mess up, say, "I'm still learning," and move on. You are not a robot. You are not perfect. You are human, and humans don't grow through punishment. They grow through patience. Today's task is emotional. Take 5 minutes and write a short letter to yourself. Start like this. "Dear me, I forgive you for..." Be honest. Forgive yourself for quitting. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. Forgive yourself for the years you lost, the habits you broke, the goals you abandoned. Let it out. Because forgiveness clears the space for consistency to grow again. Rebuild your identity. From this moment on, say this to yourself. I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am becoming someone better, one step at a time. Write that on your mirror. Repeat it every morning. Because when you finally stop fighting yourself, you become unstoppable. In the final part of this video, we're going to talk about something deep, something that will light a fire inside you, your why, your mission. The reason you must stay consistent, not just for you, but for something greater. You've done the hard work. You've healed. You've shown up. Now it's time to unlock your purpose. Let's finish strong. See you in Part 10. Part 10. Your why is bigger than your feelings. Welcome back. This is the final part, but it might just be the most important, because everything we've talked about, habits, discipline, healing, action, none of it will last unless you know your why. The problem, when your why is unclear. Most people are inconsistent not because they're lazy, but because they've forgotten why they started. You wake up and feel empty. You open your book but can't focus. You look at your goals and feel nothing. You think, what's the point? And when you lose your reason, you lose your rhythm. There's a young woman named Amina. She grew up in a small village. Her father worked 2 jobs. Her mother never finished school. But they told her, you will have the education we never had. She studied hard, got into a university abroad, moved to a cold city where no one spoke her language. At first, she was on fire, reading, learning, dreaming. But winter came. She felt alone. Her grades dropped. Her motivation disappeared. She stayed in bed for days, questioning everything. Then one morning, she opened a letter from her father. We're so proud of you. Don't give up. You are our dream. She cried. She remembered. She got up, cleaned her room, opened her laptop, and started again. Why? Because her why was bigger than her weakness. Find your why. So let me ask you, why did you start this journey? Why do you want to speak English fluently? Why do you want to improve yourself? Why do you want to be consistent? Is it for a better job, to travel the world, to help your family, to inspire your children, to finally believe in yourself? Your why is your fuel, and when you feel tired, lost, unmotivated, it's the only thing that will bring you back. Write your why. Here's your final task. Take 5 minutes. Write this at the top of a page. I want to be consistent because... Now finish it. Be honest. Make it personal. Make it emotional. Read it every morning, because when you remember your why, you remember your power. Speak your mission. Say this with me, out loud. I will not give up on myself. I will show up even when I don't feel like it, because my future deserves better than my excuses, because my why is stronger than my mood, because I am consistent, and I am becoming who I was meant to be. You made it through this entire journey. That alone makes you different. You're not just watching videos. You're not just dreaming about change. You're becoming the kind of person who creates it. So here's the final truth. Consistency is not a talent. It's a decision, and you just made it. From today, you're not starting over. You're starting stronger. And remember, every time you show up, even for 5 minutes, you're winning. Speak with the heart. If this video touched your heart, if it helped you see yourself differently, if it made you feel hope again, comment below. I choose consistency. Let the world know, because this is not just a channel. This is a movement. A family of learners, fighters, dreamers who never give up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for growing. And thank you for trusting us to walk with you. Your journey is just beginning, and I'll be right here with you. Every step of the way. Go take action. Go be consistent. Go live the life you were born to live.